And welcome to the Neighborhood Radio Show / podcast thing. I'm Nixel, and I'm here with... This is the part where you guys introduce yourselves.
I think we should go down and see so Charlie starts.
Yeah, that works.
Hey, I'm Chris.
Hello, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Riga.
Paused because I was waiting for Craig to introduce himself.
Craig is the bot we use to record this. And Chris is joining us. Chris is the neighbor of the week this week.
And,
Woot woot.
cool.
And,
Congratulations, Chris.
well, Chris is our 51st neighbor of the week, which means we've almost done this for a year now. And a lot of things happen over the course of a year. We've had the neighbor of the week get muted. I think we even had one that got banned. When the day we were gonna announce the winner, we had to ban him.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was a
Don't worry, I'll be the second person to be
and,
banned. Neighbor of the week.
broke some Discord terms of service. We've had neighbor of the week that's been in the timeout channel because they've been
All
muted.
names I have no clue about.
Good old Matt.
I knew it.
Yeah, he makes his goal to try to get muted by the bot. We have a timeout channel for people that get in trouble and get muted, so they can talk it out. So, like, if people are mad and yelling at each other, and two people need to have an argument in private, and they won't take it to private, we just mute them and let them talk it out in the timeout channel. But for some people, like Matt, it was like this mystery of like, I want to see what's back there. So he would try to trigger the bot to mute him all the
Kill the
time,
cat.
so that he could go peek in the back and see what's in that room. That's kind of funny.
Rest
Oh,
in
so
peace.
neighbor of the week questions. All right. So one of the questions we wanted to ask, I always ask the same question, which is, what's the grossest thing you've ever dropped on the floor and then continue to eat or serve to others to eat?
Oh boy.
Congratulations. Absolute unit.
So I'll be very happy to know that I don't like to drop things on the floor and then eat it, just because it's just very disgusting.
I have
No
a
one
story.
likes to. The question is, did they do it?
If you do it, it's on the floor nearby, a place that I know well, aka home. A floor that has been hoovered recently. Don't know about you guys, but I'm a very hygienic person.
There's a jelly
Mhm.
bean. I don't know who dropped it, in fact. It was on the road. So I picked it up and ate it for some
He
reason.
didn't.
Oh,
Oh!
And I don't think it tasted that bad. I don't think it tasted bad at all, probably. It's a jelly bean. They taste pretty good.
And they do have a good shell to them. So, like, what could get on it? I mean,
Yeah. What? Some rodent's hair.
Why?
there's got to be a psychological description for the idea. Like, are you guys ever like afraid of heights because when you get near a cliff's edge,
oh,
you
I've
feel
heard
like
of it.
you have this uncontrollable urge to do something stupid, like
Jump off it.
yeah, jump off. You know what I'm saying? It's like I trust myself up until that point, and then I feel like I need a rope to make sure that I don't do something. Like, I don't trust myself that much. And sometimes I feel the same way. Like, you see like something on the floor that's gross, and you're like, I'm definitely not going to eat that. But then by saying that, I feel like that's a challenge.
I think I've heard of that. I think it's called the Call of the Void, right?
I kind of had a similar experience the other day when I had... I was sitting on the floor, and there were two friends, one to my left, one to my right, both sitting on chairs above me. And I found a piece of popcorn that had been like under a blanket on the floor for ages. The one on my left was going like, eat it, eat it, eat it. And the guy on the right was like, wasn't paying attention. And so I looked over at him, it's your fault that I'm eating this. And I ate it.
They in a booster seat or something. Why are they like a seat above you? Don't get it.
Well, I don't know, watching films.
Was it delicious?
Oh yeah, it was delicious. Hairy.
Depending on what it is and how clean the floor is, I have a 5-second rule. If it's been longer on the floor than 5 seconds, then no.
Yeah, the second rule's common. Once it's dry, if it's a dry thing, that's fine. If it's wet, hell no. It's going straight in the bin. Depends if it becomes mushy when it falls onto the ground.
What about a strawberry? Does that qualify as wet? Uncut
yeah, it's
strawberry
washable.
falls on the floor.
A piece of popcorn, though.
Well, then you can wash that though.
That's true. You can wash it. Yeah. I mean, I cook a lot, and I'm clumsy, so I've dropped a few things. And I think I've the worst thing I've ever dropped was
that's
like
fair.
a steak, and it's like that's a $16 steak. I'm not gonna throw it away because it hit the ground. Like I'm gonna go wash this thing.
Wow.
And,
One time I tried to flip an egg and it dropped in the burner.
did you still eat it?
Oh no,
Scary.
no.
Okay, I was waiting for that part.
Sorry. I know I didn't eat it.
Yeah, no. I googled it. Call of the Void.
Wow.
It is a thing. Yeah. Call of the Void. It is a thing. I just googled it. So that's what it's called. I don't know if it refers to eating moist sandwiches off the floor though, but
Sometimes it does. Know what I'm saying?
Okay, I have a question for you, Chris.
Oh.
If you could have dinner with 3 famous people that are no longer living, who would you ask?
I imagine that would be a stinky
Oh,
dinner.
boy.
You're sitting there with 3 dead people.
Definitely. Rotting flesh, my favourite. A pile of bones.
Wait. We have
Someone-
a moment to mourn Stephenson.
Oh,
If you have any salt.
Wait, moment of silence for who? Who? What? When? Where?
Is our moment silence over? Just
Oh,
whoever. I
It's
don't know.
Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town.
that's not really my decade of entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Don't even understand that.
So, actually, wait, it might be American.
I don't want to claim it.
Lazy Town?
You guys produce
I'm not
Teletubbies.
really sure.
I'm pretty sure it seems Canadian.
Actually, wait, it might be
or-
Canadian. I don't know.
Icelandic, apparently.
Is it Icelandic? I knew Stephenson was from Iceland, but I didn't realize that show was.
So talking about things on the floor. Oh wait, did Chris ever share his dead people dinner?
Oh gosh, I tried to avoid
No.
the question. I was trying to avoid the question. There.
He didn't answer
Well,
it.
while you think about
Oh,
that,
boy.
Chris, I'm gonna tell a little story about eating
Right.
gross
I
things.
think-
So when I was a young man, I have an older brother, and he got a serious, waiting tables job when we were teenagers. And all of a sudden, like when you go from like having no money, because we as kids didn't even get allowance, so like money was not a thing, to all of a sudden making really good money at a really nice restaurant. He just didn't appreciate money. So when we went through a drive-through and ordered food, if they gave him change, he literally took the cash and would turn his hand and just drop the coin on the floor by the window. Like he didn't want to, because apparently at one point he had like so much change in his car that was just ridiculous, and he didn't know what to do with it, so he
Wow.
just started dumping change everywhere. Yeah, I know. No respect for money at that age. He got better with it. I'm sure. He's doing great now. But but at that time, he would just like the value of money meant that if somebody was like, let's say you're sitting around at a public dinner out at a restaurant, and there's something on the table that everyone says, "Ooh, gross." If all you had to do is say, "Ooh, gross," I'd never eat that, and my brother's ears would perk up, and he'd turn around and be like, "I'll give you $5." Whatever it was, he would challenge you to eat something gross. Just that was his favorite way to spend his money. And I had a friend who figured this out, so we would purposely set up situations, and I'd be like, "Would you eat that?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay," and then I'd be like, "Ooh, gross, that's disgusting," and then my brother would turn around, and then we would always set it up, and then this kid would get paid $20 a week to eat weird things.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, gross chocolate.
It's so horrible if I ate this chocolate.
No, I mean,
right
he
now.
ate like worms
Oh.
and crickets and stuff.
Oh,
but
disgusting.
He didn't care. But he was like,
Like
this is like, to him, he was like 14 years old. This was
Okay.
a source of income. Just eat gross things and get paid for it.
I'm gonna get my own apartment.
Yeah, it was. That was pre-YouTube.
Sounds like a
I'm
YouTube thing
I'm
that you
sure
can
we
do.
could ruin our lives on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He'll be famous right now.
Or made a living.
Yeah, that's true. Did you guys cue into that YouTuber boxing thing?
Oh yeah. I don't really care.
No.
SI versus Logan
I was
Paul, was
like,
it?
none. They're not ballsy enough to have an actual winner. Well, I was just like, it'll be a draw. And it was.
Hey.
In our hearts, everyone's a winner.
That made me vomit a little bit.
I didn't realize Scarce was in it. I didn't really care that much. So I kind of wish I didn't want to pay for it, but I wish I streamed it from someone else, just so I could see S's fight. Because Scarce is thick, boy.
It's streaming on Rabbit for free.
Well, not probably legally, but
Really?
Yeah, it's
it
a
was a paid subscription thing. Yeah.
pay to view, and I wasn't going to pay for it.
I was gonna say, Charlie, can you not advertise illegal activities on the podcast, please?
I didn't say that I was doing it.
They need to figure out the line there for what's legal to share, because like we do Rabbit TV viewing stuff, and like I buy movies for myself, and if I want to watch them with 4 friends online, I feel like that's good, fair use. But I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure if it's okay, but I don't know where that line is. Facebook is fixing to start a company that does the same thing that Rabbit does, and it's going to get tricky when you're on Facebook and you're just like, oh, I want to watch this with my friend, and Facebook streaming it. I don't know. I think Facebook's going to pave the future for what that means and what you can and can't do.
They're going to try to monopolize the whole thing so that you want to go through Facebook instead.
So like if you want to watch if you want to watch the evening's drama TV show, you could choose to watch it on TV, but you could also just watch it with your friend on their TV through the app, the Facebook app, something like that. And it's pretty much just Rabbit. They're just trying to get in on that market.
It's the same thing that I heard about this morning, like Facebook Watch or something.
It probably is. Yeah.
Some sort of video streaming thing, I think. That's a YouTube, apparently.
They only announced it a few weeks ago.
It's been in the US for like a year. And
I wouldn't know. I don't use Facebook. I feel bad. I have to use it every once in a while as a developer, as a web developer, and I'll get in on it, and someone will have sent me a message 3 months ago, and I'll be like, "Oops, sorry."
Yeah. I once had that with an older woman offering me money, for like for like a trip. I was like, "Oh, you can still give me the money if you'd like."
But you already went on the trip.
Yeah.
Not sound very. I was not very convinced by that excuse. Offering you money for a trip. Yeah. Yes.
So I just suddenly realized I should probably offer an explanation.
What's the opposite
about why
of
women
a cougar?
offering me money?
What is Niggle doing? He's
Pedophile?
Oh,
Niggle's getting
cradle
propositioned by
snatcher?
old ladies on.
He's getting good.
So, Chris, I'm coming back to it. Did you think of people you'd have dinner with?
Yeah, but all of the answers will be something that I don't think the majority of the people in the neighborhood would know about. So I'm into my classical music. So 2 of them would be classical composers. So Beethoven. It might be difficult to talk to him because he's actually dead by the time he died. So I need to learn some sign language or something.
English?
Oh, yeah, I need to learn German as well. Similarly for my...
He might have done.
Maybe. Actually, it'll be awkward. It'll be a very silent dinner. Waving our hands at each other like, wah! The second one would be my favourite composer, Gustav Mahler, who is also German, so I definitely need to learn German. The third one is a conductor called Claudio Abbado, who passed away in 2014. But he understood English, so that's the only good one. Yeah, good luck if anyone knows about these people.
Yeah, they have to be dead people. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know who I do? Steph. I can't remember his name. It's like Stefan something Stephenson. The Viron who recently died. Winky Winky also died this year, and the oh crap. I can't remember his name now. There was another entertainer, actor from my childhood who died. I can't remember his name. This year. Three of my childhood heroes have died this year, so that's fun.
Oh. The official year that your childhood has died.
I
That's
probably
brutal.
have Robin Williams for definite because, like, I think that would be a good laugh having him there at your dinner.
Every time. Charlie, who was
I don't know who else I would have. Is
Three
it just like
Warriors
him?
meet you.
Can I just have him?
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
Barry,
just like
Barry
him.
Chuckle, Tinky Winky in Tinky Winky in the Tinky
Oh,
Winky suit,
Barry
not just as, like,
Chuckle,
as-
yes. I would have him as
And Robbie
well.
Rotten again in his Robbie Rotten suit.
He's not really enjoying his
Saying
dinner
that,
that
Robbie
way.
Rotten. This is weird to say. He looked pretty good for a man dying of cancer. Just saying. He looks hot.
A photo of him where he's just holding a cup of tea at the camera. I'm like, I like him.
Yeah. I'm such an American. I have no idea. who he
Stephen
is.
That's what
Carl
it's called,
Stephenson.
Just remember Stefan Stephenson because that's such a good name.
Okay, well, speaking of the British Empire, I recently had a friend send go to the UK and actually I think my sister-in-law is still there right now, and bring me back some treats. So I was gonna check and see if these are real, authentic British treats, or if this is like
Ooh.
truck stop, tourism, as far as like we'll give them a taste of. So Turkish delight.
It's in the name. It's in Turkey.
I love him.
Oh
Get
yeah.
them over here.
What's the story?
I'm
to
not
Turkish?
too
What does
keen
it
on
taste like?
those though.
Chocolate.
It's basically
Oh,
like
are they
Jello,
chocolate?
No,
but
they're
covered
chocolate.
in
These
chocolate.
are like. These look like.
Oh, they're not covered in chocolate. Oh, because we have two different types, don't we? We have like the sugared cubed, and then the sugar cubed one.
Yes, it looks like a sugar
Oh,
cube.
okay. Because we have another one that is like
I'm
the
going to try
Jello
one.
Turkish
I'll
like
probably
covered
try
in
one and
chocolate.
give you
So
my
that's
opinion.
why
Made
I
of
automatically
different
went to that
fruits.
one.
Okay, should I tell you the history?
Kind of good.
Okay, so in
Go on.
1984, C.S. Lewis
Yes.
wrote *The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe*. In that book, a witch gave one of the kids, not Peter, the twat, Turkish delight. Then the US government used the book so much, so they went, "Let us make this a real thing." That's why it exists.
Edmund.
Seriously.
No, seriously. Because the first thing I did when my wife pulled this out, and showed it to me, I said, "Oh, I don't want to eat those because I don't want to have a relationship with the White Witch." My wife had no idea what I was talking about.
Ew. Wait, have Americans not read *Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe*?
No, we have. Yeah,
Those things
It's-
look
it's
delicious.
Standard
Okay,
read.
cool.
Good stuff.
Again, I'm not too keen on the texture of Turkish delights because it's
okay.
like
I just had
cube
one.
jelly.
It's we have a lot of American cheap food in the grocery aisle that's like
Yeah,
that kind of gelatin candies. It's not a gummy. It's softer than a gummy worm. It was very
Yeah.
kind of melt in your mouth kind of gummy. It was very gentle. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I will say that was
so
I could eat the entire container very easily. But I'm not going to.
Right.
I'm not going to.
just a sidetrack. Go back to what I said before. I change it. I don't want to
glass
have lunch
container.
with Tinky Winky. He's Adam.
Oh no! Poor Tinky
why-
Winky.
Why did I? I'm sorry, Tinky Winky. Why did I not think of Douglas Adams before? Yeah, I'm thinking of the right guy. Aren't I? He's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, that would be fun.
Actually, you could do. Okay, continue.
Yes.
Next treat here. Clotted cream toffee, made in a copper pan, using only the finest ingredients.
Call this the ASMR
There's some-
podcast.
Oh
Sounds
yes, they are so
Yeah.
good.
Well,
Oh.
it didn't
That's
make
quite
it all the way
soft
home
as
very.
well.
Okay.
It's all like melted
So
together.
we now rub your hands together with the stickiness.
Oh,
to give us more.
it's so sticky.
sound.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, your dentures.
Okay, this is gonna pull my teeth out.
It's everywhere.
Probably not
Yeah.
candy to eat in a podcast. Okay, well, it's really good. What is okay? Does anyone? Can you guys explain to me clotted cream?
It's cream. I know it's just like
How do you purchase it?
A tub from a store.
in a tub.
No.
Honestly, I just have clotted cream for cream teas, which is scone, scone, cream and jam. It's just, I'd say it's kind of in between butter and cream.
I have it clotted cream ice cream. That's really
Yeah.
good. It's just thick cream that in thick, and it's used with it's used with full fat milk.
Is this the stuff that you
so-
like put the full fat milk in the
and
oven and
it's
just bake
like-
it until it gets kind of like gelatiny?
And then you'd let it cool, and then when it cools down, it'll be really nice and thick.
Yeah, they do steam it and they cool it slowly so that all the clots come to the surface. But we usually have them with scones, like clotted cream on scones and stuff.
Some jam. Just with tea.
Nom.
Well, I'm still got this
Sounds yummy.
coffee in my mouth. Can't get rid of it.
In at Christmas time, they usually sell those toffees in like packs with like a little metal hammer,
Yeah.
and like it was only ever at Christmas that those kind of came out. Do you remember those?
What's
Does
the
anyone-
what's the hammer for?
to break the toffee up?
Here's a
To,
message
like,
for Great Britain
hit the
from the
toffee.
American Dental Association. If you have a hammer used to break up your candies to eat them, probably not good for your mouth.
You know the stereotype that British people have bad teeth. Now you know why. We're just out here
Yeah.
eating.
Yeah.
What is
Well,
it? Clotted cream toffees.
That's not bad teeth. That's just the toffee stuck to their teeth. For every time they take a picture. All right. So the last thing I have here is I don't know if I'm going to swig this or smell it or what. It is Henderson's Relish. Do you know what that is?
Oh,
Never heard of it.
Worcester sauce.
I have no
Yeah,
idea
see,
what
I don't
that
know
is.
why.
It
no one
looks
says
like
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce, and it is from
It's
Yorkshire.
just Worcester
It
sauce,
is the-
isn't it?
What? Huh?
Yeah. With avocados.
Call it Worcester. Yes.
The way you said Worcestershire.
Worcester sauce.
Okay, you know there's like the hole in like the seed of the avocado. Put loads of Worcester sauce in there and kind of splash it around like a paddling pool. You're eating it. Really good.
Okay. Well, the label here says, Hendo's, the black stuff, relish is today a Sheffield institution, adding spice and savor to any dish. Splash it on rarebit. Stir it in shepherd's pie. I feel like this might be a little bit of a touristy thing. It's like, here, this is the real this is the real fish and chips here. Like,
Oh, this is very posh.
I don't know.
If it is Worcester sauce,
Yeah.
I've never heard of it on
Yeah,
trim
they
chips.
they say pour it on fish and chips for a fuller, richer flavor.
No, I've never had it on fish and chips either.
Mm.
Oh, it's really good for your spaghetti bolognese. If you're making a spaghetti bolognese, when you're browning your mince, add a splash of that to your mince meat, and it makes it more flavoury summer.
Anything with a nice dark gravy. It's pie. Which pie probably works too.
we have
Yeah.
Whooshy.
I won't try to say it again. Your whooshy sauce over here. But we have whatever, your wussy sauce over here. And
Duh.
this smells a lot more pungent than what we have over here.
Nice.
But I'm not gonna swig that to find out. That could end the podcast quickly.
I don't.
I'd want to do it.
I would use-
I'm an old vinegary man. I can swig balsamic vinegar fine.
Nick still has to be rushed off to hospital.
Oh, I have some vinegar right here. It's balsamic too.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah,
want
take
me
a
to
swig.
open
I
it
mean,
for once?
if you're used to it. I was at the farmer's market and they were selling high-end balsamic vinegars, and somehow my wife abandoned me at this place, and they're giving us samples with little bread, and I didn't want more bread, but I wanted to taste all the vinegars, so I finally was like, no, I don't need the bread. Give me the cup. And I was like acting like a wine taster and swooshing it in my mouth.
What sort
and
of looks
swallowing.
did you get from everyone there?
So,
Uh,
I mean, the people there, because it like nobody pays attention to you. Like you have a booth and you're trying to sell your product. So like if you'll pay attention to somebody, they light up. They're like, oh my goodness. And since I was in there just chatting it up about vinegars and like what will go good with this one, what will go good with this one, and they just kept pouring samples, and I just like, I had probably pickled my insides by the time I was done.
Guessing you just had a swig then.
I really love vinegar.
Me too.
No, but I poured a cap full.
Okay, let us know how it goes.
Okay.
That was the into the void moment where he couldn't back down.
Oh man, I actually love vinegar. Sorry, I was just gonna say it tasted really good, but it was strong.
Ooh.
Yeah, the stuff I got at the farmer's market was thick. Like it was condensed.
Oh, man.
You know, cook it down or something. And so
It's saucy.
it has like you can pour it on
Mixel.
food and it keeps its
Said
shape.
that different vinegars, balsamic
Yeah.
vinegars, go with different things.
Yes.
What does that mean? Is it like wines? Like you have this wine with some.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, they had blackberry balsamic vinegar. They
I was gonna
had
say, I've never heard of any balsamic
they had
vinegar apart from
lavender
just the plain old
balsamic.
general
They had
one.
all these different, maybe like 20 different flavors of vinegar. Where they had, I bought the original because I just like plain balsamic vinegar was the.
They've moved on from the
flavorful.
alcohol, all the weird beers, all the weird gins. Now they're on the balsamic vinegar.
It's a hipster farmer market thing now. You just they make their own, and
I love it. I love it so much. It's so
Yeah.
tasty.
well, and I've got a really big beard, and I ran into there's a booth that sold beard oil, and you should have seen those people just light up with like sample. We got to get this guy. He's
Nice.
like the only guy with a beard that's gonna buy our stuff today.
Just walking around with a big bag full of balsamic vinegar. It's like, he'll buy our stuff.
Yeah, well. Well, what else would you consider quintessential British cuisine thing? If I were to travel to Britain, what should I eat?
Mm. You'd have to have a full English breakfast for sure, which is like sausages, back bacon, fried bread, fried egg, baked beans, black pudding, grilled tomato, mushrooms,
English.
Say a cream
and a
tea.
good tea.
And how many
Wow.
times a year do you eat that breakfast?
Cream tea.
Nice.
I always have
delicious.
a full English breakfast
Ah.
on Christmas
Too
morning.
intense for me.
Mm.
The more you eat it, the lower your expectancy
It's
goes.
kind of like,
Like
Thank you. Oh,
yeah, it is
Yeah.
quite a lot.
Black
Yes.
pudding? What is that?
Because I don't think Americans don't have
Oh,
black
blood
pudding.
pudding?
Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, no, we don't. No.
oh, lucky them.
Yeah, it's like
Okay,
basically
so you get blood and you eat it.
it's pig's blood sausage.
No, I went to a Vietnamese restaurant here, and I was actually thinking I should ask Allie, who's one of our neighborhood friends that lives in Vietnam, because I was fixing to order something, and the waitress was like, "You're not going to like that." And I was like, "Well, okay." And she said, "Well, I recommend this then." And I'm like, "Okay." So I switched at the last minute because the waitress was like, "You don't know what you're doing." And when they brought me my food, it was like a brothy dish, kind of like a pho kind of style dish, but it had this huge cube of red pudding stuff, like just
Wow.
dark red. And I couldn't figure out. I tried to Google it real quick. I tried to send Allie a message. She was not available. So I just ate it. But then when I got back the next morning, Allie told me what it was and how it was made.
It tastes
And I
alright
regretted
though.
everything.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it didn't taste great.
Oh,
It was-
okay.
it just kind of tasted like bland and like I'm not sure what this is, but maybe it's like a good source of protein, Because I mean, what's that? What's that stuff that they grow in a dish and tofu? They don't
It's
grow
great.
it. They don't grow it, but it's just soy product that's
Yeah,
been
I'm not a big
reprocessed
fan.
in a different way.
Hmm.
I thought maybe it was just something like that, but then when I figured out it was blood pudding, I thought, well, maybe
Oh,
it's like
right,
a
yeah.
Jello that just uses a little blood to make it. And Allie's like, no, they just literally drain an animal and let that sit out. And that's how they make it. I was like, oh,
That's bonkers.
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, my My mum's gone vegetarian, but there are still some things that she really likes, like blood pudding. And she's like, I wonder if they can make a vegetarian blood pudding.
Wow.
Fruit juice.
Wow. You're gonna have to
Don't
drink.
you do that?
Yeah,
Just
you're gonna have to
drain a
cut a plant
plant.
open and drain its blood. And that actually might be delicious.
Give me my beets.
Don't talk to me in the morning until I had my beet juice.
I'm a grumpy little sausage until I get my beet.
What else talking about?
Nice.
British cuisine, right?
Yeah, and I'm not talking about the stuff that you make the
dear.
tourists eat so that you can laugh at them and say we tricked them into eating the goat face because that's our traditional thing that none of us actually partake in. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I have an English breakfast every time I want one. Or, I mean, every time I can have one, sorry.
Well, and to be honest, I don't
Yeah.
think that's a fair title, except for the beans for breakfast part. I mean, that kind of feels a little weird, but in America, our traditional breakfast is, we don't call it an American breakfast, but, it's a lot of the same thing. It's just a big, healthy portion.
Oh, yeah. I think cream teas
Yeah,
are
that's very
a
British.
British thing. Are they not?
Very British.
Scones.
There's also
lots of
fish and
cream
chips.
and jam.
Kind of have to.
It's delicious.
Crumpets.
Mhm. Some lemon sauce.
Yeah, fish, chips,
Give
and mushy
all the
peas.
condiments. You're not British. Get out of here.
Ooh, I'm not too keen on tartar
What
sauce.
Oh, Sunday roast. Roast dinner. Definitely roast dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's basically the American
the closest
version of
thing. Sunday
Thanksgiving,
roast.
but every
No,
Sunday.
Thanksgiving. I always think of like a giant turkey. In terms of the UK, it sounds more like a Christmas dinner over here. At least I think so.
Typically, I mean, it's pretty common in my family to eat turkey on Christmas and Thanksgiving, especially.
What's the big difference
old turkey
between
dinner.
those sorts of dinners? Thanksgiving,
Between
Thanksgiving
the
and Christmas.
turkey dinner and what? I mean, in my family,
Okay.
they're kind of the same, really.
See, I think everyone's a little different. In America is really a mixing pot. So, like in my wife's side of the family, it's Chinese food because they're Chinese.
Ooh.
So, they do a huge homemade everything from scratch, Chinese meal, and then oddly enough, weird mix along with that. They usually do clam chowder.
Wow.
So, but that's like tradition for them. That is like the book of the law. You can't change this. This is how we're going to do it.
Nice.
My family, we
Wow.
always do Christmas steaks. So
Yum.
we get high end and we grill outside no matter how cold it is and do
Wow.
Uh,
In the winter.
Ooh.
grill outside
In the winter.
high
Did
end.
you just say you get high?
Yeah, you probably. Yeah, high end steaks. No, we don't go.
Maybe
get
it's
high.
Christmas.
No, that's-
I thought you said you get
That's
high and grill
illegal.
outside. Am I the
That's
only one who
what
heard
I
that? Oh, okay.
What is the state of legal marijuana usage in the UK? What is this? What's the current?
One party which is dying said, "Oh yeah, we'd legalize that," and then they got like 3 more votes.
The news, I think a few months
Nice.
ago, there was someone who came back to the UK and had their medical marijuana confiscated by
Oh yeah.
immigration. No, yeah, at the airport. They complained about it and eventually got it available in the UK for the medical usage.
I
So,
On a month, it's like on a trial basis, though. Yeah, they're not allowed it to pass when they run out. But that
I
was
really
for the
think
child.
medical marijuana should be allowed here. It's
Same.
ridiculous.
recreational
It's
might
not.
be easier over here just because there's the Netherlands as a example of how it could be used or legalized.
I mean,
Doesn't seem like it's going to be happening in any time soon, but hoping.
I mean, the benefits kind of outweigh the
the risks.
The risks, definitely. And if they take out the stuff that actually makes you high, then I don't see why not.
I mean, yeah, I just there was the whole thing that it really helps people with like PTSD, like soldiers. It'd be so good to have that here.
Yeah, and if you've ever been through chemotherapy, it makes you not want to ever eat again. And because
right, yeah,
marijuana gives you the munchies, it actually is really the perfect, like, non-invasive thing to do that's going to help alleviate. And so people who are going through serious chemo treatment, that is like the best way to combat that and stay.
I didn't realize that that's why they smoke marijuana, but I did know that because of Archer. So
it also helps with nausea, which is you get from chemotherapy.
You know, when you see something and it looks a bit dodgy, you're like, oh, I'll check the reviews to see if this product is actually dodgy, like on Amazon. Then you scroll down and it has 0 reviews because no one else is as dumb as you to consider buying it.
There's too much of that on the Amazon App Store.
Have you guys ever bought something on Amazon and then it just was not what you
really
expected?
cheap.
Yeah,
Sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
I have a game.
Oh, what game's that?
It was some ripoff of Cube World for $3, and I
Didn't play
bought
it?
it, and it didn't even run. I couldn't even play it. I couldn't even review it if I wanted. And if I did, I'd just say, "Please fix."
I bought a headlamp, like a light that goes on your head. So like when I go out and do photography at night, I can just wear this to see what I'm doing, have my hands free. And I got a really good deal on it, and I was like, "There's got to be a catch. Like there's got to be something about it that's going to be." Well, sure enough, when I get it, the battery is Russian, and so it's rechargeable. So thankfully, I don't have to worry about it until it breaks. But when it does break, I'm gonna have to order some weird Russian battery to ever replace the
It's not a
unit.
standard battery thing.
No, it's a completely weird, never seen it before, covered in Russian.
Oh boy.
I had a similar thing. I had like a really powerful torch, but the only batteries were like weird Chinese batteries. And I bought one online, and the battery was just terrible and broke the torch.
Yeah.
I don't know how it did that, but it did.
I mean, I've heard stories of people ordering furniture online, and it turns out it's doll furniture when they get it. It's like, it looks just like it did in the pictures, but you just didn't realize the pictures weren't to scale.
Reminds me of when people are going on holiday and they look for these like really nice places to go to, and there's this really nice picture of a pool overlooking some scenery. And when you go there, it's actually just like a little paddling pool, but they framed it perfectly. You can only see the top of the water. So it's literally just a little plastic blue paddling pool in the back.
Oh man, that's crazy.
That'd actually be a real artistic industry to be in. Like, I'll come take your pictures and I'll make it look luxurious with just a few props.
That's a good idea. That would be fun.
Yeah. It's a bit of a con, but do you guys order online for like minuscule things like paper towels? And I know Charlie does. I've heard Charlie order things that I'm like that seems I would just get that when I'm out.
Like today I've had a food shop, so like my weekly grocery shopping I've had delivered to my door. It's perfection.
Well, it's all crazy over here now that the delivery and pickup, like you just order everything online and you can go to the stores, and Walmart's got this giant machine that just delivers it's like a vending machine for your groceries. You just put your
I've
card
seen that
in,
around the back. They've installed that around the back of the Asda near me. So it's just Walmart.
Everything's getting electronic now, or delivery based. In the UK, you can order from like most restaurants and just have someone just drop off the food straight to your door. Just the big things either. It's just literally just a generic.
You have Deliveroo British, or is that in America? Do you just have Uber Eats?
We have Uber Eats. That's all. That's all. Well, there's actually a bunch of them over, but I refuse to
Yeah.
use them. I have a car and energy, so
Deliveroo kind of blew up here a little while ago, and that's kind of fading away.
I've never even had pizza. Well, I've not never. I don't have pizza delivered,
Nice.
even though that's like the standard thing you have delivered. Like I will always go pick it up. I don't know.
Ow.
I'm weird like that. But I kind of worry about the world we're turning into, where like you go to the grocery store and the robot hands you your food, and then you leave. I mean, no human interactions, and
No, thank you. I'd rather grow my food.
I mean, I'll use the electronic tills because I prefer to do that. But I go out and I because I want to spend a while looking at what there is, using
Yeah.
stuff. I guess you can do that online, but
But how does that even work?
Yeah.
Like Charlie, when you order tomatoes or tomatoes, do you just? I mean, do they just always give you a good tomato? You don't ever look at it and go, I think there
I
was a
mean,
better
if
one
they
in the
deliver
batch,
your
and they gave
food
me
to
the-
your door and like you have a look and something doesn't sit right with you, you can like kind of say, no, I don't accept this, and they'll take it back to the truck and whatever. But like most of the time, they have to abide by the Best Buy and the sell by dates when they deliver your food. So most of the time, I've never had an issue with that.
And I guess it's to their advantage to take the best produce so that you don't turn anything back.
I've
And
had
waste your trip.
circumstances. We don't do it very
guess
often,
so.
but when we do, sometimes
The
they'll
only thing,
just pick out the wrong thing and be
Oh.
like, "Oh, the original wasn't there." And we're like, "No, it was. You just couldn't find it." When we know their shop better than the employees. Yeah, substitute.
it's when they substitute things. So like, yeah. So like, I ordered potatoes, and in like the big baking potatoes, and they didn't have that in store for whatever reason, and so they've substituted that with the little baby potatoes. It's like, okay, I can make a great jacket potato out of this.
Like 7 nice jacket potatoes instead of my small one.
What is the jacket potato?
Just make me laugh.
No, you just call it baked potatoes.
Wait, what?
What's
Oh,
You don't have
okay.
jacket potatoes?
wait? Is the jacket a piece of foil?
Oh,
Is that why it's called a jacket potato?
No, it's because the skin is the
I-
jacket.
You could shout, you know.
don't know.
Potato. I don't know, but that's
Could be.
But the bit of the potato that you actually want is the inside white potato stuff. It's inside the skin, which for other forms
That's
of
not
potato
how you
you
work
get
with
rid
animals. You don't say my dog is a jacket dog because it has skin on it still.
of. This potato looks equally well.
Eat the skin on jacket potato.
Oh, the other day when I was like on a camp with scouts, someone else was cooking. They made mashed potato,
Yeah.
but they forgot to peel it. So it was just mashed potato with skin bits everywhere.
I do that
That's
sometimes.
really
it's
weird.
good. That's a good source of
Nice, though.
potassium. That's one of the healthiest parts of the
Oh.
potato.
Not a banana.
Inside layer. What?
In my head,
Yeah,
potassium solely comes from bananas.
man.
Oh no, it comes from other things.
There's potassium in.
Yeah, but you don't want to eat the peel of a banana. You don't want a jacket banana.
That sounds like a man who regrets a decision. Well, guys, this has
I
been
don't know
fun.
what happened.
It was a rambling assortment of discussion,
Yes.
which is
I've
great.
been far more focused on my
And
Amazon
we'll,
shopping.
we'll probably
than you
do
guys.
that again sometime. In fact, we'll do it again in about a week and a half. So,
Boo.
Chris, thanks for joining us today, and congratulations on. And I guess me and Charlie need to go discuss
Whoop, whoop.
what we're going to do about Neighbor of the Week next week because it's the 1 year anniversary. Yeah, that's. Oh yeah,
Is it today?
Oh,
Well, it's today.
Oh,
Today is
start scrolling.
Thursday.
all right. Well, we'll call it an end there. And Rika, do you
Yeah.
think we can play one of your songs?
You mean?
You think I could steal one of your musics.
Oh, of course. Yeah, whichever
Okay,
one you want.
Bye.
we'll leave you out with a Riga Riga song, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
That one was a lot more racist.
Bye.
Bye. Sexual.
You know?
Yeah.